Right.
All right, hello Adapted PE friends. We're back for another lesson with Miss Kaylin. Today, you don't need a whole lot of equipment, but if you are going to be outside, you can either be on the grass, or if you have a mat with you, go ahead and grab a mat or a towel if you don't have a mat. And if you're going to be inside on carpet, that should be just fine. We're going to be getting on the ground doing some exercises today. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take you through our stationary warm-ups like we did last time, and then we're going to get into some core exercises. So I'll talk more about what our core muscles are and what we're doing with that. So remember, our first warm-up exercise is our arm circles. Okay, so we're going to do arm circles forward, keeping our arms nice and straight. Big rotation for our shoulders, warming up our shoulders. We're going to be using them today for our core exercises, so make sure they're nice and warm. And then reach behind you, keeping your arms straight. Big circles, getting our shoulders nice and warm. We're going to move into a marching in place. Remember, it's like you're marching like a soldier, just nice and slow for right now. Moving our arms in opposition to our legs, raising our knees up towards our chest, and then jog in place. Just nice and easy. Remember, we like to get our bodies and muscles nice and warm so that when we stretch, okay, our muscles are warm and ready so we don't injure ourselves. Jumping jacks. Remember, pencil and rocket ship. Pencil, rocket ship. Pencil, rocket ship. Take your jumping jacks as you need, slow or fast, whatever works for you. Aim for about 10. If you can do up to 20, you can do up to 20. Let's get into our stretches. The first one, both arms up, reaching up towards the sky, acting as if there's something that you want really badly up there. Maybe it's a new toy or a game or something. Try to reach for that. Nice and high. Standing up straight. And tricep stretch. So from here, one arm goes up, scratch your back, and with the other hand, you're gonna grab your elbow and pull it down. Okay, so from the back, this is how it looks. If you can, stand up straight. Try not to be hunched over. Try to stand up nice and tall for me. We're gonna go ahead and switch sides. So other arm goes up, scratch your back, grab your elbow with the other hand. If you want, you can count to 10 for all of these stretches. You can work on your counting and hold it for as long as you feel like your body needs. We have deltoid stretch. So one arm comes out, bring it across your body, grab your elbow with your other hand, and you're gonna pull your arm across your body. Remember, our deltoid is our shoulder muscle, so we wanna feel a stretch right here in our shoulder. And let's switch. So other arm comes out, across your body, grab it with your elbow, and pull on that elbow to pull your arm across. We're gonna move into our trunk twist. So feet apart into our straddle position. Remember, we're just twisting side to side, moving our upper body, giving our trunk and our back a nice gentle stretch. Okay, from here, keeping your legs apart, we're gonna get into our Latissimus Dorsi stretch. So one arm's gonna go up straight. You can put your other hand on your hip, and we're gonna reach off to the side. Try to keep this arm up and straight if you can. Reach as far as you can the other way. You should feel a nice stretch right in here. and hold it there. Let's switch sides. Other arm comes up, hand on hip, and reach the other way. All right, hamstring stretch. Remember, the hamstrings are the back of your thighs, so keeping your legs apart still. Very important to keep your legs straight. Don't bend your knees. Keep your legs straight. You're going to lean forward from your hips, and you're going to reach down as far as you can without bending your knees. You should feel a nice stretch in the back of your legs. If you can touch the ground or your toes, that's great. If not, if this is as far as you can go, that's fine. Wherever you can go to still feel that stretch in the back of your legs. Slowly stand up so you don't get dizzy. The next one, remember, is our quadricep stretch, and it takes some balance. So if you have to hold on to something nearby, if you have a chair, you can hold on to a wall. Okay, you're going to lift one leg. Remember, keeping your knees together. Try to stand up tall, grabbing your foot with the same hand. So right now I am grabbing my, well, to you would be left foot, grabbing it with your left arm. Try to stand up straight. This helps work on your balance, but also stretches out your quadriceps muscle, which is the front part of your thigh. It's okay, again, if you want to hold on to something to keep your balance. What's important is that you're stretching out this quadricep muscle. Let's switch sides. Other leg goes up, so right leg up, grabbing it with your right hand, trying to keep our knees together as much as possible. We don't want to flare our knee out this way. Okay, we want to keep them together, trying not to hop around. We want to try to stay stationary. Next, we're going to stretch out our gastrocnemius. So that's our calf muscle. So the easiest way to do this is to keep your feet together. Take one big step forward, keeping your back heel on the ground, both toes pointing forward. You're going to bend your front leg and keep your back leg straight. Stand up tall. You should feel a nice stretch in your back calf. We're going to switch sides, so bring your feet back together. Take a big step with the other foot. Remember, back heel stays on the ground. We don't want it to lift up. Back heel on the ground. Both toes are pointing forward. Front leg is bent. Back leg is straight, standing straight up. Try not to rest on your knee this way. Try to remain up straight if you can. The last thing we're going to do is our ankle circles. So again, this one takes a little bit of balance. So if you need something to hold on to, that's quite all right. You're just going to lift one foot, and you're going to pretend like you're drawing a circle with your big toe. Just moving your foot, not our whole leg, just your foot. Remember, you can circle it one way or you can go back the other way. It's a little bit more difficult sometimes one way. Loosening up our ankles. Then you're going to switch sides. Drawing a circle with your big toe. You can switch it up if you want, go the other way. All right, perfect. So today we're actually going to skip. Normally I have you guys do some sit-ups and push-ups or a push-up plank, but since we're going to be doing some of that stuff today, we're going to go ahead and skip that. So we're going to be working on our core muscles today, well, like I mentioned earlier. So what are our core muscles? Our core muscles basically are the whole midsection area. So talking about our abdominals, okay, our stomach muscles, our obliques, our side muscles, and our back muscles. So this whole area. It's really important to keep your entire core strong because it helps you do all of your daily movements. It helps you stand this way when you move your arms or you move your legs. It helps keep you under control if you're stepping down. You need that trunk control you may have heard. To be able to sit, we're probably all sitting a lot more than usual. To be able to sit in a chair, it takes all of these muscles to be nice and strong to keep us upright. So to do any daily movement, we need to keep our core muscles nice and strong. So that's going to be sort of our focus for today. Again, if you have a mat or any kind of space you need, I'm going to go ahead and jump on my mat. I'm going to take off my shoes for this, so you can come a little closer, Dad. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to focus on sitting up nice and straight. Sounds simple, but most oftentimes when we're sitting down, we often slouch. Okay, we're not using any of these muscles to keep ourselves upright. This gives us bad posture. It can cause a lot of aches and pains within our body, or oftentimes we're sitting down at our desk or at a table. If you're at home doing work, you might be slumped over doing your work or on your computer. We want to make sure we have good posture. So from a side position, we do not want to be slouched this way. You can notice that my shoulders and back are rounded. So we want to just sit up. And the best way to do that is to, well, point to your heart. Okay, where your heart is, you just want to focus on lifting your heart to the sky. Nice and gentle. We don't need to overdo it and bring our shoulders back and over our arch. We just want to be in a nice, what they call neutral position. So we're just sitting up nice and straight. So again, focusing on keeping your heart up high to the sky. Okay, head looking straight forward. And just sit here. Practice sitting here. You'll notice that after a while, your back will start to get tired and will start to slouch ever so slightly. If that happens, that's okay. Just remember, heart to the sky. Bring it back. So if you could practice this every day, not just today, that would be wonderful, especially again, since we're sitting a lot for our distance learning at our tablets, our computers, or sitting at a table doing our work. So just practice sitting up straight, holding it here. The next one we're going to do is we're going to work on a push-up plank position. I mentioned this in my last video. This is something that you can do in place of the push-ups for our stationary warm-ups if you cannot do a regular push-up. So this is a good alternative for that. Push-up planks or forearm planks, which we'll get into later, they work out your entire core, and I'll talk about why. So first we're going to get into our push-up plank position. The easiest way for me is to get in a tabletop position, focusing on keeping your shoulder and wrist in line, in one straight line. Remember, we don't want our hands to be way out here in front of us. We want our hands directly underneath our shoulder. So it should be a straight line from shoulder to hand. And then our hips right over our knees. So we want everything to be in a straight line. Now from here, your hands are glued. They can't move. They're not going anywhere. All you need to do is slowly move one leg back straight so you're on your toes, okay? And then the next one, and you're already in a push-up plank position, okay? Very important to keep a straight body position, because if you're slouching this way, you're not using your core muscles. If you're up and you're in a downward, more of a downward dog position, you are not using your core muscles. So if this happens, shift your body forward so that your shoulders are above your hands and hold this straight body position. If you can, try to see if you can do it for 10 seconds without stopping. If not, try more. If not, work up to 10 seconds. Just keep practicing. You'll get better if you keep practicing. All right. The next one we're going to do, we call either Superman or Superwoman. It's going to work on your back muscles. You're going to lie flat on your mat or on the ground. Okay. Legs stretched long. Arms come up in front of you, just like you're flying like Superman or Superwoman. All you're gonna do, the whole bottom half of your body is going to stay on the ground. You're just gonna focus on lifting your arms and your chest off the ground. So notice my lower half is still on the ground. Arms and chest are high off the ground. And you're just gonna hold it. You should feel your back muscles right here really working to hold you and lift you up. And then release. See how long you can do that one for. The next one we're gonna do are heel touches, okay? They're gonna work on our obliques a little bit more, which is our side muscles. You're going to bend your knees, lay back. Ooh, the sun's kind of bright. Arms are gonna come down by your side. You're going to lift your chest and your head off of the mat, and it'll stay off the mat the whole time as you try to touch your heels from side to side. So, chest and head lifted, you're gonna tap your heel back and forth. So you're going side to side, trying to touch your heels. If you can't touch your heels all the way, that's okay. At least reach in that direction. Very important to keep your head and shoulders off the ground if you can the whole time. Notice I'm not laying down and then trying to reach this way. Chest and head off the ground, side to side, reaching for your heels. It's easier if you bring your heels in closer towards your body to touch. If you want to make it more challenging, feet go further, and then you really have to engage these muscles to reach your heel. Try to do that for 10 to 20 seconds. See how long you can go with that one. Ooh, it's hot outside today. The next one we're gonna do, another great one for our core muscles, all of them. Okay, we're going to do a tabletop hold. So, you'll get in your tabletop position. Okay, from here, you're going to lift one leg and then raise the opposite arm at the same time and try to hold your body in a straight position. So right now I'm lifting my left leg, so I'm raising my right arm at the same time. We're not trying to lift the same side. Okay, again, left leg, right arm, stretch them both long, try to hold this position. Okay, hold it for 10 to 15 seconds. If that's way too easy, you can make it more challenging by bringing your knee to your chest and your elbow towards your knee. So you can crunch in, stretch back out. Crunch in, touch, stretch back out. But that's only if you want to make it really hard. Once you're done with that side, you have to switch and do the other side. So, right leg out, left arm reaches long. Try to keep a straight position if you can. Try not to raise your arm too high, leg goes down. Try not to be this way. Try to maintain a straight line if you can. Again, if you want to make it more challenging, knee to elbow, crunch in, stretch back out. Nice and slow and controlled. But a hold is perfectly fine. All right. From there, we're going to get into another plank position, but this time we're going to be on our forearms. So I want you to tap your forearms, okay, so you know what's going to be touching the mat. These are your forearms right here. So forearms will touch the mat. It's just like a push-up plank, except for we're on our forearms this time. Leg goes straight, other leg goes straight. We're keeping a straight body, okay, and we're just going to hold this here. Again, we're working all of our core muscles, making sure we're not slouching this way, we're not too high this way. straight body. If you want to make it more challenging, you can do hip dips. So you're going to touch your hips side to side, side to side. But if not, holding this forearm plank is more than enough. From there, we're going to get into a push-up plank position, and we're going to do shoulder taps. Now when we do shoulder taps, or you can do elbow taps, I'll show you a couple of different variations for it. Very important to try to keep your core strong. Uh-oh. Hi, Milla. To keep your core strong so that our hips don't. We got a lot of things going on in the neighborhood, guys. Hopefully you can hear me. You're going to keep your core nice and strong so that your hips don't sway side to side. So I'll show you what I mean. You're going to start in your push-up plank position. Remember, shoulders over hands. You start in your tabletop. One leg goes back, then the other leg comes up, keeping a straight body. For this one, it's easier to spread your feet apart, nice and wide. From here, you're going to tap your shoulders, right hand to left shoulder, then left to right shoulder, okay, so opposite. If you can't reach your shoulders, try your elbows. If not, try just your wrist. Okay, very important to try to not swing your hips a lot as you're touching your shoulders. We don't want a lot of movement like this. We want to keep your body as straight as possible as you're touching. So remember, you can touch elbows. Okay, aim for at least 10. If that's too easy, do more than that. The last one we're going to do is just going to focus on our abdominal muscles, so the front part of your stomach. You're going to lie back on your back. Your legs are going to come straight up. If you can, keep them as straight as you can. From here, your arms will come up, and then you're just going to lift your chest and head off the ground to try to touch your toes, come back down. Touch your toes, come back down. Touch. If you can't touch your toes, it's okay. Just reach in that general direction. Touch, back down. Touch, back down. Touch, back down. Okay, so focusing on lifting, using these stomach muscles to lift yourself off the ground so that you can try to touch your toes. Those ones can be pretty challenging, so I would aim for about 5 to 10 to start. Again, with any of these exercises, do as many as you feel is best for your body. If some of them are too easy, make it more difficult by increasing the amount that you're doing, so do more. If it's too difficult, do less. That's okay. Take whatever variation works best for you. So I gave you 8 different exercises. We focused on all of our core muscles. So hopefully you guys remember that our core muscles are our stomach muscles, our side muscles, and our back muscles. So this whole area, and it's good for keeping us sitting up straight, moving our arms, moving our legs, moving in different directions, twisting and turning, getting up out of bed. We use our core muscles for everything that we do, so really important to keep them nice and strong. If you guys like this one, maybe I'll do another video showing you other strengthening exercises for our core, because it's that important. So I want you to either tell somebody or show somebody that's in your house at least one of the core exercises we did today, maybe your favorite one. Okay, and if you can, challenge yourself and try to point out which muscles you think are working from that favorite pose or exercise that we did. Okay, so nice and easy lesson with very little equipment, doesn't take very long. I hope everyone's staying healthy and safe, and we'll see you again next week for another lesson. Have a good day.